see to stand.
This will still deepen the crisis surrounding Nnamdi Kanu's release. We have seen the Igbo leaders, from USA, we have seen the Reps talking about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We have seen the Afenifere, we have seen the Middle Belt, we have seen Pandev, we have seen so many organizations,
agitators,
you understand, saying the same thing for the past, even while Buhari was still there. But till date, Nnamdi Kanu has not been released. It tells a lot of things about, the Igbo symbol that is on hostage. It tells a lot of things about the consciousness of Igbos in Nigeria. As long as Nnamdi Kanu remains there, the Igbo is being held hostage in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu is the symbol of liberation, is the symbol of hope. Nnamdi Kanu has successfully, put himself on that consciousness that, Igbos are not well treated in Nigeria. The issue that has to do with marginalization, a lot of things, And remember, Nnamdi Kanu was not actually calling ab initio for independence of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu started by alerting the world, telling the whole world that there is need for Nigeria to be restructured. And within that period, he gave them opportunities. He said a lot of things, the issue of seaport and so many things like that. But unfortunately, he was ignored. On that process, he was arrested. And that was how, the Biafran factor, took space in everything, within that period. And it has become something that millions of, Biafrans all over the world has come to embrace. And from there, it has gone viral, and there's no going back on anything that has to do with that, irrespective that the court comes out and say IPOB, but the world knows IPOB organization can be seen anywhere in the world. There in so many countries of the world, and none of those countries have come out to say that these people are terrorists. No, none of them. We knew what is happening. I can tell you some countries, even UK at the time, Poland, all some of these countries, when they were agitating for, independence, the modern nation, as at that time, you label them. So what we are seeing is that at this point, we are almost everybody, every region is saying Nnamdi Kanu does not need to be where he is now. And the call for,
his
release has skyrocketed ever since before now. But we have not been able to see the action. It does not take the federal government anything to release Nnamdi Kanu within 24 hours. It's a very simple thing. The federal government goes there and withdraw the case.
That's also what's stopping the federal government. What do you think is stopping? Because as of yesterday, the rep that was telling President Bola Tinubu to release him.
You can see the Igbo military victorious in USA, has already told him that release Nnamdi Kanu, because if he dies there, there's going to be an issue. You have seen elders, Igbo elders, different. I can name them. Insisting that Nnamdi Kanu is illegally held, illegally renditioned, illegally, kept in custody for just no reason.
For just no reason.
No reason. You understand? Everybody, we know the norm here, everywhere.
How can the government arrest someone, detain the person without no reason?
The reason is this. According to the federal government, is according to them,
pick you up,
according to them,
and detain you for no reason.
According to them, okay. Nnamdi Kanu is representing the issue of marginalization. Nnamdi Kanu is representing, especially the eastern part of the country, that has been everything about that region has been, looted in favor of Nigeria, where the people there are not benefiting anything. And you can see that it is outright injustice on the side of the Igbo nation. And he came over and said, this thing you people are doing is not correct. Nigeria there should be balance of power. There should be balance of national cake.
Equality.
There should be equity, fairness, and justice. But these things are just something. And as a result of that, when he noticed that the federal government are not reacting to some of these issues put on ground, he started asking for separation. And I've not seen anywhere except in Nigeria where people come and seek for self-determination, because the international law allows for self-determination. It's not carrying any gun because the United Nations will frown on it. But he uses his the only means he feels that he can do that is through communication. And because of the system where we find ourselves, the fact that Nnamdi Kanu is threatening their interest. And that was exactly what happened. That Nnamdi Kanu is against their interest. And what is their interest? Is to continue to suppress and oppress the Igbo nation. To make sure that, imagine a tribe, one of the largest tribes in Nigeria for over 64 years now, has not been able to produce president. There's no seaport there, there's no functional airport, there's no federal government presence that you can count. All you see in the eastern part of the country is personal efforts. So, at that level,
what makes you feel that if at the end of the day you are given the opportunity, to have a president from that extraction, what gives you that assurance that it will provide all these needs for you guys?
No,
because
yes.
At some point we had a president from the Yoruba entity, Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria. Yoruba believes never did anything for them. So what gives you that assurance? So what gives you that feeling that, okay, if you have an Igbo president, he will do all these things you've counted for you?
We will not have it until we have it. We'll be able to know.
But Obasanjo failed the Yorubas, according to some Yorubas, not even so many.
But at least,
that's Ogun State.
But at least to an extent,
did you see the impact of a president, of a Yoruba president in Ogun State?
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
No matter how you see it, the Yoruba nation benefited from that administration. He might not be able to establish a lot of things, but he was able to put the Yoruba nation on the world map. As a president at that time. When you give somebody a sense of belonging, he might not be able to achieve all, but the people will feel that we are part of this system, no matter how it is. And that space was given to Nigerians, or was a space that Nigeria needed to fit in immediately after the Nigeria Biafra war. Where there would have been seen that deep reconciliation, that sense of belonging, that synergy, bringing everybody on board. But we've not seen it happen. Even if today, I can tell you, if today you release Nnamdi Kanu or you have an Igbo president, it will not stop Biafran agitation, because the thing it has spread to the extent that it has become a religion and consciousness. But in a bid, to still see how Nigeria is going to factor the Igbo presence in Nigeria, the clamor for Igbo presidency is still there. But I can tell you that definitely it might be very difficult to see an Igbo president, doing exceptionally, trying to establish one or two things that will serve as symbol that when I was there, I did this, I did that. But to an extent, would have noticed one or two major federal government projects.
I don't think it goes beyond you having just an Igbo president.
Of course, when I say,
a president belongs to all.
Yes,
it doesn't belong to one structure.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's the way it should be. Normally, I think Obasanjo was the only president I saw that were able to bring every tribe, every nation, every nationality on board at the national level. You see their presence there. The PDP were able to do that. But it became nepotic under APC when Buhari came into power. It flanized everywhere, just like what Bola Tinubu is doing now. People are saying now, what is the essence of having 5 states in the eastern part of the country, while other states are not even producing anything, are having 7 states, 6 states, and thereabout. And these things have been here. That is crude injustice. And these are the things that are fueling. And not only that, I think there's need for people, to come back and look at the issue of the Fulani agenda too. Is a major threat. Because the way and manner they operate, meaning that they want to take over and conquer Nigeria by force. And their target has always been, the Igbo people. If you go back to history and see some of the comments some of the leaders were making in those days, years back, you know that something has already been planted. And most of them are political extremists and terrorists.
Now, can you hold on there a bit to the comment section? I need to quickly look at what All Is Well is saying here. That's a big fat lie. Nnamdi Kanu detention is wrong, but don't change the narrative, boss. Okay? I don't understand what All Is Well is saying there. I think I need to move up a bit. Okay? I can see. All right, Grace Avo. Until the whole Nigerians said no or said no, the country will always teach them a bitter lesson of life. They will never forget. They will never forget. Okay. Until the whole Nigerians say no, the country will always teach them a bitter lesson of life. A bitter lesson of life they will never forget. I come in peace. That's Grace Avo. All right. All is well. Chinedu, stop. I don't know why All Is Well is saying you are lying. Chinedu, stop lying. Nnamdi Kanu detention does not signify Igbo hostage. Okay, now he has explained it very well. Does not signify Igbo hostage. He is a private citizen. IPOB did not start as violent organization, but some stupid elements has hijacked the good aim.
Okay, let me tell you. You can't say that the IPOB hierarchy. We are looking at IPOB. When you talk about IPOB, you are talking about the indigenous people, you cannot say that IPOB till today is still being seen as the most peaceful movement in the world. They met that record. IPOB is never violent. That's the truth. The consciousness, as long as Nnamdi Kanu is still in, you can't say Nnamdi Kanu is a private somebody. What do you mean by that? Nnamdi Kanu is not talking about his privacy. He's not talking about how he's going to make money and billions like Nigerian politicians and buy thousands of millions of properties illegally. Nnamdi Kanu is speaking for those who couldn't speak, for those whose burden Nigeria has brought to them. Nnamdi Kanu is representing over 80 million Igbos. So what Orwell is saying is, what I'm saying, what I'm going to react to that statement is what I said is 100% correct. Because nobody is talking about, when you mention Nnamdi Kanu, what's coming into your mind? Biafra, as simple as that. You can't mention Nnamdi Kanu, you say Nnamdi Kanu's wife, or Nnamdi Kanu's children, or Nnamdi Kanu. Once you talk about Nnamdi Kanu, a lot of things comes into your mind. And what comes into your mind is Biafra. So is Biafra a personal something? It's not a personal something. Let me tell you, through one man, sin came into this earth. Through one man, righteousness came. There's no how, that's why we have one president. There's no how everybody, that president you are seeing, you can't say Bola Tinubu is all about private. No, he's the president of the whole Nigeria, 250 million people. As simple as that.
All right, away from that, with the move by the BOT, Board of Trustees of PDP, to install Ude Okoye as the National Secretary, what do you think would happen to Nyesom Wike?
Yes, I just want to finalize on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
Nnamdi Kanu must be released, should be released. Let Nnamdi Kanu go. As simple as that. And I know that Nnamdi Kanu will not die there. God will protect him because he means well. Let the Fulani-led government, the Lord government, release Nnamdi Kanu. If we have a Southern president now, Bola Tinubu, and is looking at it from that perspective of pressure or a certain agreement he entered with the Fulani people over Nnamdi Kanu, because as they are seeing Nnamdi Kanu, they know that this guy, if they leave him, he is a big burden, because they fail to do the right thing. So that burden will always be there, whether they release him Nnamdi Kanu or there, until the right thing is being done. That is away from that. Then let me look at Wike. Wike, I can tell you, I told you that PDP is not new to internal democracy. PDP has always known how to. This is not the first time we are seeing PDP in crisis. They know what to do. But I can tell you, there's a gradual plan to dismantle Wike influence in PDP. If they are not funding Anyanwu, who is claiming to be national secretary now, of course, the only place he can go is to go to court. And they are acting based on the appeal court judgment that has officially pronounced Ude Okeye as Ude Okeye was a former youth national leader of PDP. So you see all those elements from Wike, gradually, I think, they are going to dismantle it, then position PDP proper, either for coalition or for anything. But what we're looking at is that at this time, PDP should jettison the issue of, my party, if we really they want to put down Bola Tinubu come 2027. Because let me tell you, as they are coming together, as we are seeing coalition or whatever, remember there's going to be a competing ambition over who is going to have the presidential flag at the end of the day. So they should put themselves on that selfishness if really they mean well for Nigeria.
All right, briefly before you go, from 49.7 trillion naira to 54.2 trillion naira, it has been increased. What do you have to say?
Yes,
briefly.
They can increase it to 100 trillion. There's no problem. But what we're talking about is that the reasons we are giving here is that there are some sectors that need urgent attention. Yeah, you understand? And that's what the president is trying to say.
So it's not a bad move.
No,
you're not kicking against it.
I'm not kicking against it, But what I'm saying is that would we be able to justify the increase at the end of the day?
All right, thank you so much.
City Stand.